Okay, so this is the introductory session. Starting today, we're going to speak about communication and soft skills. The two courses mapped to year one, VTU, English. What we're going to cover today, let's see the agenda. Okay, we're going to start today's session. There are five parts to it. We're going to start with the key deployment updates. So we have got some very good updates which we plan to share in terms of the colleges, in terms of our deployment and other things. We're going to speak about the login process. I mean, most of you are already aware of it, but we're going to reinforce the fact that how anyone, the students as such, would be able to access the English lab. We're going to speak about the key features, so as Gautam said, and we have conveyed the fact that, well, our communication and soft skills lab, our English lab is aligned to the communication and soft skills lab from VTU, and we're going to have a glimpse of what exactly this is, the way it is coming through. Then Ashwani is going to cover some insights on admin dashboard in terms of how to use that, how to manage and track the student progress. And then eventually it's going to be Kirti there with us, who's Kirti and Ramya, who are going to help us to log in and explore the e-learning resources. There are a bunch of things and key guidances on accessing the ebooks. Okay, so before taking any other time, any other second, let me move forward. Now, this is some good update for everyone. Our English lab content is fully mapped to VTU's new syllabus for communication and soft skills. So thank you, everyone. So there's some great achievement what we have seen. So there are almost, Kavita ji, there are almost 4 to 5 modules for both of these courses, communication. Five modules for
skills
and soft skills. So each of these two courses, 5 modules each. Each of these 5 modules have been mapped.
Yes.
Right. So that is some great feat at our end. The second good update, which I am very proud to share, is that we have successfully deployed our English lab around 100 colleges so far. We have been 24/7. We have been supporting the teams across colleges, VTU colleges. We have been getting the inputs, have been trying to deploy it, and this is where we stand as we speak today. But having said this, the colleges who are yet to share the student data, there are a couple of colleges who are yet to share the student data. We request them to share the data at the earliest for smooth access, right? So there are 3 things. Now, okay, there's this chart. Ashwani, you would like to share some details around this? You could be here with me, Ashwani. Yeah, come this side.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Namaskar, Ellargu. Thank you for joining this session. So, this is the slide. We have a QR code and also a Google Form link. A Google Form link na with the needed details we have already shared on the email with all the librarians, English faculties, and the principals. Also on the WhatsApp to all the English faculties. E form na nabu data collection ge kalsirodu of the student registration. And you can also take a screenshot of this QR code in case if you have not yet shared the student data with us. Illivargu if student data namatra share madila andre, please you can take a screenshot of this and scan this QR code. You'll have a Google form, and also there are few things about this Google form that ಇದು ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟೀಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್, ಆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ನ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಮೇಲ್ official email IDs illa andre, you can also share their personal email IDs with us. And also if the USN is not available, you can skip that. And all the other details like name, department and section, idella details na neevu namge kalisbeku so that we can register. We already have got around 100 colleges and we have already deployed. In a Mikiro colleges can just note these things down and share the data with us. Thank you. Yeah.
So thank you, Ashwani. So we have been sharing these details with you on the mails. We have taken you through the details in these sessions and our V2 sessions as well. But this is just wanted to reinforce these key points again. Okay. Now, the second part of session is where we are moving to is essentially Ashwani is going to speak about the English lab login process. So is that the same, Ashwani, what we covered last time, or yeah, would like to?
That will be different. Yeah.
That would be
First,
different.
let me
Okay.
share my screen.
Go ahead, Ashwani. So should I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you all confirm if you're able to see my screen? So now moving on to the next agenda point, students henge login ಮಾಡಿ course na access ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. All of the students will have to go to Quiklrn platform on the Chrome browser. First thing is that Chrome browser ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು home.quiklrn.com ಅಂತ URL enter ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That is our URL, Quiklrn URL, home.quiklrn.com on the Chrome browser. And please ensure that the students will enter the correct spelling Quiklrn. Idhal enadru error adre they will go to the wrong website and they'll not be able to access the course. So the students first Chrome browser open ಮಾಡಿ home.quiklrn.com ಗೆ URL ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. And ಇವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಟಾಪ್ ಮೆನ್ಯೂ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಮೆನ್ಯೂ ಇಂದ we have to go to resources. This is the dedicated login which we have created for all the VTU students. So please ensure that the students will go to the resources menu here and select English VTU English Lab. So the steps are simple. They are going to open the Chrome browser. I'll ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು home.quiklrn.com enter ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And from the resources menu, select VTU English Lab. VTU English Lab select ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ they have to enter the college registered email ID. If the college has provided us the official email IDs or the personal email IDs, the same email IDs are registered in the backend and the student is supposed to use the same email ID. And for every college, in the deployment mail, we have shared a common password. So the students will have to enter that common password here. Now I'm just going to use a demo student ID. This student will not belong to any of the colleges. This is just for the demo we have created. So the student is going to put their email ID and your college particular common password. And they have email ID and password na enter madadmele check this box to accept the terms and services, or else the system will not allow them to log in. This is a very normal process they have to follow, and click on the login button. Once I click on the login button, now as a student, I will see both the courses. Ella students kunu communication skills ಮತ್ತೆ soft skills ಎರಡು course deploy ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Now I'm just going to click on the start course button for the communication skills. So if they are taking comm skills or soft skills, they can just click on that particular start course button. Now ivaga communication skills ke start course button click ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. Yeah. Now if I have landed on this page, so course walkthrough na we are going to do it in the next few minutes, which Gautam sir is going to help us to do that. Now if I land on this page, I'll be able to access my courses, and once I have done accessing my course, like I've done my learning for that day, I can just click on this logout button to log out as a student. Now iವಾಗ full explain ಮಾಡಿದ flow ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ students same flow na follow ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So yeah, this is the login process. Once they are done, they can just click on the logout button on the right side top here.
So what we have seen so far is that how the students would be able to log in and how the students would be able to log out. Right, Ashwini?
Yeah, correct.
Right. So both the ends, yeah, so that is clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, what I've shown you is the live demo of the login process. We also have a small video which demonstrates the same steps. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ we are going to share with every college, which can be forwarded to the students. So I just want to play that video now.
Sure.
So yes, this is a very small 40-second video which will help them to log in, and we will anyway forward this video to all of you, which can be again sent it to the students. Now, regarding the login process, if you have any doubts or queries, please put it in the chat.
We have already, so we are seeing, yeah. So thank you so much. So people are responding and putting their queries in the chat. We'll be taking these queries at the end of the session. So thank you so much for the people who have posted their queries so far. Now, Ashwini, we're good with your login process. We are all sorted there. The next step is Gautam. Gautam sir, what about, yeah, so we'll come back to this query. Gautam, so what's in store for us, sir, today? What are you going to show up?
Yeah, we'll have a quick look at the English lab. I think there are lots of questions that people have. We can keep those questions for the end, right?
We will take up these
we'll take the questions up at the end, and at the same time, right, we'll try to keep answering your questions. Yeah. As far as this current stage is concerned, we'll take a look at the Quiklrn English Lab, the 2 courses that are part of the lab. And right. So you can, I think, keep your queries coming. That's fine. We can keep answering them at the back end. Before we start, I'd like all your attention, please. I'm sure that, I mean, as I can see, you have a lot of things to share. But before we start, all the existing members of the faculty, librarians, respected sirs and ma'am, please, those of you who are from the English department, your English faculties, could you please identify yourselves by just a show of hands, please? I just want to know how many of you here are English faculty members. Okay. Okay, that's a good number, huh? Yeah, I've got 23 till now. Is that all? Is that 23?
24. The clock is ticking, Gautam. So we have got many people from the English team. We have got the company.
Right. Right. What's the total attendance today, Abhimanyu?
There's almost like 150.
What? We have 290 registrations.
290 registrations, what we have seen. So that is the exact count what Ashwini tells me. 290.
Okay. Wonderful. So yeah, I saw a count of 29, and well, that's quite a robust number for the very first time. So to you, dear English faculty members, again, I share a closer bond. Why? Because we share some of the same objectives in life, equip students with the right set of skills when it comes to communication. And to you, I have a special request. What's the request is that look, you'll be the bridge between the English lab and the students, right? How earnestly you drive the students towards the resources, the activities, right, will to a great extent determine the progress that your students will show. Now, all of you are here because you've taken out time, right, from your busy schedules. Why? Because you think that this is a product that's going to add value to your students' learning, and you're absolutely correct. But this is a tool, right? It's a tool, and a tool needs to be used properly and by the right people, right? So you are one of the right people here who has the responsibility of using the tool in such a way that it reaches out to, the maximum number of students and has the maximum impact, which it has been designed to from the very first day. And if you study our offerings, if you study the 2 courses, communication skills and soft skills, you will know how the topics, the resources, the learning resources, the practice resources can really make a measurable difference to your students' progress. Now, we will be meeting very soon again, right? What the focus today is just to initiate you to the essentials, what you need to know about the 2 courses that are part of the English lab, right? But in the meetings that we'll have later on, right, I will request your participation, and what we'll do is we'll have an in-depth look at some of the topics, right, some of the learning resources, some of the practice resources, right? And again, I would request your presence for those meetings and those presentations too. Okay, thank you so much. Right, now, what is Quiklrn English Lab? Now, of course, right, you would already have a fair idea that, and as Abhiman has already mentioned, right, and as Diwakar sir has also mentioned a number of times, this is the first time ever that that VTU's explicit requirements around communication skills and soft skills, right, have been 100% aligned to a platform offering from Quiklrn. So when I say that, I essentially mean that whatever is part of, right, thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Okay, thank you for that. So whatever is part of the VTU syllabus for communication skills and soft skills, you'll find the same topics, concepts, subtopics, everything, that's part of it. And the good news, there's some more good news, is that you'll find more than just that, right? Why? Because again, we had envisioned Quiklrn's communication skills programs to be complete, holistic programs. So we've covered everything that is the requirement of VTU, but we have also covered a bit more. And when I show you the topics and when you explore them on your own, you'll realize that, right? Okay. Now, why do we have two courses? We have two courses because that's, again, the requirement. That's how the VTU syllabus has been split. Communication skills, as again is apparent, is built around key communication tools that students need to be equipped with for, job success, placement success, interview success, GD success, right? It's not just focused on the speaking aspect of communication, but we're also looking at listening and reading and writing too. So email writing, resume writing, creating a LinkedIn profile, everything has been covered. So that's what communication skills is focused on. Soft skills, the other course, again, is more around the soft skills tools that, especially in this age and day, when collaboration matters, when stress management matters, when time management matters, right? When your ability to negotiate, handle pressure, persuade matters, right? So all skills on those lines have been taken care of in the soft skills course. Okay. Ashwini, we don't need to go there now. We can just please stick to communication skills. Okay. And I think you've stopped sharing your screen.
Yeah, just give us 1 second.
Yeah,
we are there. So we could continue the conversation.
We'll be right back. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want to do is, because you will be closely following the VTU syllabus, I just want to see how the mapping has been done and how we've made it very convenient for you to locate, specific topics listed in the VTU syllabus on our platform. And yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. You're back. Okay. Now, what we can do is even before that, I'm so sorry. Right. Before I jump into the modules, right, I forgot to talk about the Know Your Level test. Now, all the students who are part of this, and all the students part of this entire program will begin their journey with the Know Your Level test, right? The Know Your Level test is the very first assessment, the very first assessment the students will write. The objective of the test is quite simple, right? It's to give the students and to give all the stakeholders, right, an understanding of the current skill level, right, of like each and every individual student. And as Ashwini is showing us some of these questions here. Now, every student will get a CEFR rating. Now, CFR, all of you would know, is the Common European Framework of Reference for languages. It's the gold standard when it comes to language assessment, right? Now, for example, here there is a pre-A1 rating for a certain student. Now, this is just a demo. I hope that none of your students get a pre-A1 rating, right? But even if they do, there are solutions. We can do something about that. But as a stakeholder, so once you understand that your student is placed at the CFR level of B1, or let's say A2, some students might even be A1, right? So you have a key piece of information that will help you drive your students towards certain activities, certain concepts, certain resources that are part of the English lab from Quiklrn. So for certain students, for example, if you have a B2 level student, which is a rare occasion, right? Very few students get a B2. You can direct that students towards more challenging activities. For an A1 or an A2 level student, you can help that student focus on some of the more basic activities and concepts. So again, this bit of information, if used properly, can really drive learning, right, on a personal basis among your students, on an individual basis. Okay, so students write the test, right, and then they start with right, the modules. Now, I think Abhiman had already mentioned it. Both communication skills and soft skills, both the courses have 5 modules each, right? As you can see here, module number 1 is communication skills, and then you have interpersonal skills, English for employability, English in the digital world, and applying for jobs. So this is the flow of the modules, the flow according to the VTU syllabus again, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to one particular module. We'll just have an in-depth view of that particular module, and then I'll just give you a very quick understanding of what the other modules entail. Okay, Shrini, we'll start with communication skills, concept building. Thank you. Okay. Now, every module has got 3 distinct parts. The first part is concept building. I think most of you would be familiar with this. The second part is activities, practice activities. The third part is the module test. Yeah, okay, yeah. Concept building is where students are introduced to all the key concepts. Now, this is the concept building for module 1. And what is module 1? Module 1 is communication skills, right? As you can see, we've got 3 distinct links here. Right, the first one says communication skills, the second says writing, the third says speaking and listening. Now, each link is a link to what we call an interactive book, right? And you might now be wondering, so why have 3 interactive books? Why not just have 1 interactive book? We have done this so that, again, the concepts don't get all mixed up and it's difficult for you to identify the concepts around communication skills or writing. So we thought that it would be good to have 3 distinct interactive books on 3 distinct topics, right? And the very fact that the VTU syllabus for communication skills module 1 explicitly lists these 3 topics. So as you can see, unit 1 is module 1, right? So the first part is around communication skills. As you can see, verbal, non-verbal, proxemics, chronemics, barriers. And then the second topic, it's again, quite a distinctive topic. It's writing. It's very different from the first topic of communication skills, parts of speech, sentence structure. So we're focusing on grammar. And the third topic is speaking and listening. So you have 3 distinct topics as part of module 1. And so we thought it would be good to have 3 distinct interactive books, 1 on each topic. Again, so that it's easier for you to navigate and find what you want. And as you might have noticed, we've used exactly the same words, right? So writing, we call it writing. Speaking and listening, we're calling it speaking and listening. Communication skills, we're calling it communication skills. So that, again, there's no confusion as to which term means, and the correlation between the terms on the platform and the terms in the VTU syllabus. Okay, Shrini, we can go back to the platform once. Thank you. Okay, so let's take a quick look at communication skills. Yeah. Now, every interactive book, why do we call it interactive in the first place, right? Because unlike a book, what's a book, right? A book is something that you flip through, you read, you flip through, you go to the next page. Now, this is much more interactive than that, right? It's got videos, interactive videos, it's got slides integrated with questions, right? Again, to reinforce the learning immediately, so that at no point of time there is passive learning. The learning is always active, right? All our slides, again, are very, very student friendly. The questions, as far as those part of the interactive book are concerned, are quite basic, but they help reinforce the concept and tell students that, look, they're moving in the right direction. Okay. Ashwini, let's take a look at the interactive book on the second one, writing. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay. In today, right. So what you see here is the list of topics on the left. So the left-hand column is the list of topics. The students are advised to start at the very top and make their way to the bottom, because that's how the information has been arranged, and there is a logical chain, that we want students to follow. And that's how it's been established here too. Now, what are the features of an interactive book? Again, interactive concept videos, which are, again, some of the hits that students have appreciated wherever we have deployed these programs. So I'll just show you how our concept videos work and how they're different, from any other video that you might have seen on the same topic. And again, I'd like to tell you that all the videos have been designed by our in-house team of trainers, right? And again, this is not something that you're going to find anywhere else apart from our platform. So Ashwini, you can just, start the video. Welcome to this concept video on articles. You can stop here.
We'll begin with an introduction.
Yeah, so here we can navigate to the sub-concept that we want to go to, right? And I think Ashwini would like to go to...
What are the things to keep in mind?
Yeah, so we are talking about articles here, the strategies for using articles. Now, how is this interactive and how does an interactive video, how does it make for effective learning? Let's find out. We'll just watch the video for about a minute, if that's okay. I think it's less than a minute. Ashwini, please go ahead, play the video.
What are the things to keep in mind when using and an? So let's start with and an, and then we'll move on to the. First thing is, when you're using or an, remember, sound matters. Use before nouns that begin with a consonant sound, and use an before nouns that begin with a vowel sound. So if you have the noun bag, do you use or an? B. The sound is b. B is a consonant sound, and you say a bag. But when you have the word umbrella, do you use or an? Now, what's the sound? What's the first sound of the word umbrella? It's a. A is a vowel sound, so you say an umbrella. What about an MBA student? Do you say a MBA student or an MBA student? Now just focus on the first sound. M. If you want to say M, you have to begin with a. It's M. So a is a vowel sound, so you say an MBA student. What you need to keep in mind.
Okay, so that's a question that has popped up. It's based on what was being taught, the sound, vowel sounds, consonant sounds, and the use of a and an. So if you answer the question correctly, you do get feedback. If you answer the question incorrectly, you do get feedback. But the key here is the student has to answer the question before he or she can move on and watch the rest of the video. Yeah. Okay, so, right. Now, we also have slides, as you already know. So these are some slides on the same topic, articles. As you can see, the slides are very less content heavy. They're focusing on the key essentials, and there are lots of questions integrated, right, with the learning so that students can, practice what they have learned right away and get the confidence that, yes, they have picked up what they were supposed to pick up as far as the concept is concerned. Okay. And we have feedback for all the options, right and wrong, so that, again, if a student makes a mistake, there is some learning involved. If the student answers something correctly, there is the reinforcement that he or she answered the question correctly because of the right reasons. The right logic was used. Okay, so that essentially is concept building. Concept building, again, is part of all the topics, all the modules. In fact, every module follows the same structure: concept building, practice activities, and the module test. Okay. Now, Ashwini, let's do something. Let's take a look at an activity, and for that, we'll go to, okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at, right, something around speaking. Yeah, something around speaking. I think we have a nice activity on speaking. Ashwini has already put it on the screen. Thank you so much. Now, if you remember, module 1 also has speaking concepts. So one of the speaking concepts is pronunciation, right? And as part of pronunciation, we have an activity in the practice activities section called Past the Past. Now, this is not any ordinary activity. It's an AI integrated activity that gives students immediate feedback on the pronunciation their accuracy, the clarity with which they speak, right? And that immediate feedback helps students learn immediately without the need of any faculty intervention, which again is great for practice. So Ashwini, let's just start the activity once. I'll just take you through what the activity entails. Now, this is an easy activity. We have activities again for all students, easy activities for students who need to work on the fundamentals, then medium and also challenging activities for students, who have sound fundamentals but need to hone certain skills. Now, this is an AI integrated activity for weaker students. And I want to show this because in my interactions with the faculty members at the regional meetings we had recently, right, one concern was, right, I mean, see, all of us, we have a soft spot for yes, the more sincere students, but also the weak students, who happen to, be willing or showing a certain desire to improve. So we want to equip them with the right tools, right? And we want to know that, yes, this particular program is going to make a big difference for such students. Now, that's why I'm showing this particular activity aimed at slightly weaker students, weaker as far as, certain key skills are concerned. I don't like to use the word weak, honestly. Now, what this activity entails is very simple. I should scroll down a bit. Ashwini, scroll down a little. Thank you. In order to speak well, you need to speak. You cannot learn speaking, or you cannot learn how to pronounce a word by watching something or by answering a certain question. Of course, you can learn the concepts, right? You can learn the right sounds, but then until you make the sounds, until you pronounce a word, right? How do you know whether you're actually improving? So this is a very simple activity that'll help students to speak or read, confidently. And this has got two modes. The first mode is the practice mode. The practice mode is very simple. The student has to read something aloud, speak it aloud, but before he or she speaks, he or she will listen to what's there, sentence by sentence, right? So the idea is listen and repeat. Now, how do you learn? How do most of us learn? No, how do all of us learn, especially kids? I mean, when we pick up a language, we pick up how? Simply by listening to it, and then reproducing the same words or the same sounds. Now, this is exactly what this concept is based on. So Ashwini, being the student here, right, she'll do us the honors and she will just take us through the activity. Yeah.
Yesterday, I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop.
So the first step is to listen to the first sentence. So yesterday I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop. Now what the student is going to do, the student is going to repeat it word for word and try to get the sounds right and pronounce every word clearly and slowly. Ashwini, could you try that?
Yesterday, I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop.
Okay. So if you are paying attention, right, Ashwini did a very good job, but then she made the word bumped. I think there was too much stress on that. The sound at the end was not the correct sound, and therefore, right, you have the red highlight on bumped, but the green highlights on the other words, and the student is going to know immediately. Okay, right. I got to say the word bumped clearly, maybe a little more slowly, right? And I've said the other words well. I mean, of course, I've got green for the other words. So that's a good start. And the student can repeat the same sentence or continue with the rest of the activity. So that's the first level, the practice mode or the assisted
We
mode.
hadn't
Let's call it the
seen
assisted
each other.
mode. Yeah. Okay. You want to do this? Do this, Ashwini. Yeah.
Oh, no. We can move to the next part. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the next mode is let's call it one level up, right? Here, the student won't listen because the advantage of first listening is not there. So the student has to speak and record directly, right? Whatever the student sees on the screen. And I'll show you how this works on many levels. But let's Ashwini first record the first sentence. Just read one or two sentences, Ashwini. But that's all.
Yesterday, I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop. We hadn't seen others in years, so we chatted and laughed for hours.
Okay. Now, as we get the analysis, right? So if you were again paying attention, Ashwini missed out some words, and then again, some words were not very clearly pronounced, right? And this is what is going to be assessed, right? The clarity of speech, the accuracy. Accuracy is very important, right? You cannot miss words. You cannot, say another word when there's another word on the screen. So let's see what the report has to say about Ashwini's attempt. Okay. Now, I think, yes. Now, yeah. So yesterday I bumped into an old friend at the coffee shop. Let's look at the accuracy. 96%. Yes, she missed a word or two, right? Words per minute is 130, which is good. Mistakes was 1. And whatever has been grayed out, she told me about a new job that has been grayed out. It essentially means that Ashwini didn't reach there, right? So the feedback you get, the analysis you get is essentially what the student speaks. Now, Ashwini, scroll up a bit. Okay, so I know now Ashwini has done this the first time, let's say, right? Now she might want to do this again because she wants to get an accuracy of 100%, right? And she wants to read the entire thing and not just stop at the first 2 sentences that she initially stopped at. Now, for every attempt that Ashwini will make, that the student will make, right, you'll have a progress chart like the one you see in front of you, right? Attempt 1, attempt 2, and attempt 3. Ashwini, just click on just come down a bit and show the chart data, right? So for example, for attempt 1, so the words per minute 112, slightly slow, but okay, actually, reading. Accuracy was 78%, right? But then attempt number 2, words per minute was 131, better, actually, and accuracy was 96%. So that's quite an improvement, right? And attempt number 3 is going to be, let's say, you might be looking for an accuracy of 100%. So for all the attempts that the student makes, right, the student will have the chart that compares one attempt to the other, and the student knows that, yes, I'm making an improvement. And if I'm not making an improvement, I know exactly what's going wrong and I can do something about it. And that's the beauty of this particular activity and other AI integrated activities. Why? Because the feedback is immediate, right? And the student knows, I mean, for certain that this word was well spoken and this word was not well said, right? Or well pronounced the way it should have been. Okay. Thank you so much, Ashwini. We can move from here.
Yeah. So what's next on the agenda, Gautam? We are standing at 3:12.
Yeah. It's almost done. It's almost done. I mean, not almost done. I'll need at least. Do I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes? How much do I have?
No, there are 2 things what we could do. One is that we could directly get into, because I mean, conceptually and logically, we have understood for each topic how it's going to come up. So maybe we could move to the how to access the dashboard. That could be the next step for us, all of us to see. I mean, that is good with Ashwini as well. Yeah, Ashwini, let's move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we
can I just finish with the module test once?
Yeah.
Just a minute. Yeah, I'll just take a minute. Now, the third part is the module test. I would again exhort all of you to ensure that the students write the module test. The module test is where, all the knowledge culminates into one place and you get a score at the end that tells you about your level of hold or your level of mastery over the certain topic. Now, many students might not fare well on the module test the first time. So depending on how the student fares on the test, right? If the score is not that good, less than a 70%, there is some active direction that's given that tells the student that this is what he or she should do as a remedial measure, right? So Ashwini will just answer 2 questions randomly and submit the test. And a student is going to, so as you can see the feedback, right? So somebody who gets, we've decided in this way, less than a 70%, right, is going to be asked to revisit certain concept building materials, certain practice activities to strengthen the understanding. So again, we would want you to encourage your student to do the same and only allow those students who've got 70% or higher to move to the next topic, right? This just ensures that, the students pay attention to the concept building activities concept-building resources and the practice activities before they actually write the topic test. They shouldn't be writing the topic test at first. They should follow the order: concept building, practice activities, and then the topic test. That'll ensure that they get a good score on the topic test. Okay. Thank you so much, Ashwini. Yeah, you can continue with the rest of it now. Yeah.
Gautam, we have 25 questions for each module test.
Correct. Thank you. We have 25 questions for each. Yes, and they're sourced from a pool of questions, you know. So if students don't do well on the first module test, they can write it again, right? And they're going to get a separate set of questions. It's not going to be the same set because it's sourced from a very big pool of questions. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gautam. Thank you, Gautam. Ashwini, over to you.
Yeah. Now I just want to show one overview of soft skills. As you see here, the students will start from lower level and all the have all the 5 modules on the left hand side, very similar to the communication skills lab. So this is how the soft skill lab also has come up on the platform. Now moving on to the dashboard access. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ to log in, even for the admin access, it remains the same. So you have to all the librarians or the English faculties who are tracking the student progress, right? We have shared the admin access with you with the deployment mail that we have shared. So all the with the student data, you have the student steps and a separate mail for the admin credentials. It can be shared by multiple people per college. Whether it's librarian, principal, English faculties, all of them will be able to use the same admin access. Now coming to the steps. So nivella home.quiklrn.com ge hogbeku, that is on the Chrome browser. And under resources, again, you're going to select VTU English Lab. And you have to enter the credentials that we have given for each college. So now I'm going to just use a Quiklrn demo college to just show you how the dashboard comes up. So you will have your own unique college admin ID and the password, and all these details have been sent to the principals and the librarians of the colleges. So you will enter your email ID, the password, check the box and click on the login button. So now this is a screen that I see on my dashboard. You have 2 courses here, communication skills and soft skills. The number of slots are 1,500 for all the colleges. So we have given 1,500 concurrent access to all the colleges this year. So
for you meant each of the college?
Yeah, each of the college.
Sure.
So simultaneously, 1,500 users will be able to log in to the platform.
Correct.
So those you will see a 1,500 number under the number of slots, and the slots used will be the number of students who have logged in at that current time. So if you're taking the lab or if every week they have to do, you will be able to see in that particular time how many students have logged in. So if you see a number of 6, which means 6 students are currently logged into the system, and free slots are 9 because we have just 15 slots here. You will be able to see the slots used and the free slots here. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಈ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ 2 ಐಕಾನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ವ್ಯೂ ಐಕಾನ್. ಈ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ 6 ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ have logged in. To see who are those 6 students, we can just click on the view button. ನಾನು ಈ ವ್ಯೂ ಬಟನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, yes ಅಥವಾ no. So you can also download the same report into an CSV if you want it to be on your system like offline. At any time you can just download the CSV and keep it with you. And also we have one button here. By chance, if any student has lost their device or they're not able to log in into a new device, because we allow only 2 concurrent accesses per user, per student. So if their personal device is lost, athwa avaru enadru access madak agtilla, login madak agtilla antandre, they can come to you and you can just click on this action button. If we click on this action button, it will log out the student from the current devices and they will be able to log into the new device. So these are the functionalities, and please also note that you should not click on this delete button. It will just delete the user from your college. So please do not click on the delete button. So ee more functionalities nange view button inda sigatte. When you have your sessions or anything, you can just come to the dashboard and click on the view button to see the logged in students. Now, how do we track the student progress and like if they're doing the module tests or not, right? So for that, we have the report area here. Now to see that data, I have to click on the report button. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು course select ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Like I'm just going to select communication skills here. For your particular section, you can just select whether it's communication skills or the soft skill course from here. Communication skills select ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು submit ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ I have two options here, summary and detailed. Summary ಬಂದು activity wise total ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ and what is their average. So ಆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. And detail will be student wise data. So I'm getting this no data available because in my college currently there are no students who have submitted this data. They have not started taking these activities. Even if you are getting this error, which means that none of the students have started taking any of the activities. That is what no data available means. If you click on the detailed report, you will be able to see student wise rows for each of the activities, like how many attempts they have made and what is their average score, what is their highest score, right? So that is the data you're going to get. So if you have any doubts regarding the admin dashboard also, please put it in the chat and we will resolve those issues and get back to you.
There's one thing which I would like to explain here, that either it's a summary thing or a detailed report. Both the options, you would be able to download the report for your college. There would be a CSV file so you would be able to download that stuff on your machine so that you could look at the students and the performance. Remember, all of this performance, whether it reflects in the summary button or the detail button, is around the tests, is around the test which the students would be taking. Right? Yeah, sure. The module test is what I meant. The module test for each of these two courses. Okay, Ashwini, so anything else you'd like to add up?
No, I think this is regarding the login of the students and the admin dashboard. So now we can move to the ebooks part.
Okay, so Ramya, so you have got 5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Would like to give it a go?
Yes.
Ramya, go for it.
Let me.
If you can share your screen.
Sharing the
Yeah, please.
screen. So, we'll just get into a brief introduction of how to access the ebooks anta. ನಾನು live ಆಗಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗೂನು. So basically same thing as Ashwini said, we need to go to home.quiklrn.com. ಇದು ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Quiklrn QUIKLRN. So let's go to the screen. home.quiklrn.com ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆನೆ ನಿಮಗೆ VTU eBooks IP access ಅಂತ ಉಂಟು, the third one. So when you click on the IP access, ಈ ತರ ಪಾಪ್-ಅಪ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು first you need to check the confirm button and then click on the continue button in order to gain access. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅವರ ಕ್ರೆಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕುವ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So when the student gets access, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ IP and ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ right now we have added our office IP to the VTU college range. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ VTUದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. In 2 minutes ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ನಂದು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಲೋ ಉಂಟು.
So in the meanwhile, Ramya, you were telling me that these ebooks have been deployed for which all courses on which all years? You're telling me that thing?
Yes, sir. So the VTU ebooks have been deployed for first year, and then the following departments for higher semesters, that will be EC, EEE, that is electronics and communication, electrical and electronics, mechanical, and computer science, along with MBA.
Along with MBA. And what is the total number of ebooks we are providing to VTU?
Currently we are at 175.
Okay.
There are a couple of books more that needs to be sent out.
Sure. Thank you so much.
We're in the process of doing that.
Thank you, Ramya. Go ahead, please.
So my screen bandaga, you need to click on the select library button.
I think there seems to be an issue where, most of us are there. Yeah, there seems to be a network issue, and especially the fact that so many
Give
people.
me 2 seconds.
Yeah. By the way, all your queries, your queries, we've been seeing your queries. You could, but we request all of you to post your queries and send it to support@quiklrn.com. Support@quiklrn.com.
Meanwhile, I just want to take a few. Ma'am, I think Madhu ma'am has a question. When will the students receive the password? So the students are not going to receive the credentials, ma'am. Everything is sent to the college team, which is the librarian principal or the English faculty. So they will be getting the student email ID and the common password with the list of the students that you have shared with us. So the students will not get the credentials from our end. You can just inform them the email ID and the common password, and they'll be able to log in.
Okay, so coming back to the ebooks, under select library, Quiklrn e-resources anta ide. Aduna select ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Select ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ next you will get access to the next buttons, that is add course. So add courses ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ options ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Whichever is required for the student, they can select that and add. Once it's added, next view books by course ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲಾ books by courses display ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Like first year books, then I have selected EEE books just to show. So right again, scroll ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ you will be able to see all the books that has been uploaded for that particular semester or that particular department. ಯಾವ book ಬೇಕೋ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ student click ಮಾಡಿ they can start reading the book once it's loaded. So your view will be something similar to this. So ಏನೇ ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ we'll be taking another session next week. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವೆರೀಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕೇಳಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಆದಾಗ we'll appreciate the feedbacks.